What's up, guys? BC here. Welcome back to the Bryan Casella show, which is my second channel. I have Pablo Rivera Espinosa de los Monteros with us here today, who's a longtime friend of mine, professional image consultant, aka Paul Shore Spines, which is his American name we made up that's hilarious, right? Which is a rough, goofy translation of his real name. He's worked a lot in Mexico as an image consultant. I know he's worked in politics. He's worked with Modelo, Herradura, Modelo, Herradura, for the people that don't speak Spanish, that way you guys understand what we're saying.
Jack Daniels, Ferragamo.
Yeah, and he's somebody who I consider, I hate using the word woke, but we can say disconnected from, you know, really what's going on. And I wanted to get his perspective because he's lived the majority of his life in Mexico City, which is outside of our little bubble here in the US. So I wanted to kind of ping pong back and forth with him a little bit about what's going on. So I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit more, brother, and then we'll jump in.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here, brother. My name is Paul Shore Spines. Yeah, because my name is so long in Spanish, right? But yeah, I'm an image consultant, and over the past 10 years, and basically throughout my whole life, I've dedicated my life to the study of beauty. And through the philosophy of beauty, I came across perception, right? The manipulation of perception, and what is perception, which of course led me into communication, right? So communication and perception, that has been it. That also opened the doors to work with politicians, work with brands and advertising and all these different things, because they are the ones who are spending millions of dollars on a monthly basis just to get you to buy their brands, buy their ideas, and, you know, just that you can like them or accept them and be like, okay, I like that guy. I don't even know why. I like that person, or I like that brand, even though I know it's bad for me, but there's something about it. And, you know, people like me, we dedicate our entire lives just to get to know your psyche and understand what are the little things, the subliminal things, so that we can communicate to you and so that you can understand, right?
Cool. So jumping right in, man, you know, as I look at everything that's going on right now, you know, the U.S. right now is very divided from the media standpoint of, you know, it's white people, Hispanics, you know, blacks and Asians and all that shit, right? And they really push that agenda. Something that I want to ask you as far as a question is, since I've become more of a free thinker, my theory has always been that the Hispanic or the Latino community has been one of the most brainwashed and messed up groups out of all. Everyone is to a certain extent, but I feel like, you know, I've been able to talk to my parents. They've been somewhat receptive of, you know, new ways of thinking, different ways of thinking besides what the media shoves down your throat. But if I go to a family party of 100 people, it's me versus 99 people who call me a sellout, a white Hispanic, racist against my own people. Yeah. Now, I'll ask you, do you agree with that? And maybe you can elaborate a little bit. If you do agree with it, why do you think that the Hispanic community is in that state right now?
Yeah. You know, oh, how do you do it? There you go. There you go. So in my country, basically, we call it whitexicans. The people that are like living like that out of the matrix, right? And a little bit, you know, they're fresas or they're like bougie and whatnot. But it's funny to mention it, right? The whitexicans. And yeah, man, because I have been able to live in different places around the world, right? I have been able to travel all around the world and teach of all of this stuff. But more lately, I have been coming more into America, right? So coming back and forth, I notice things that maybe you don't notice because you are right here. You have it in front of you. And I have a little bit of perspective because I really don't live here. And I see that a fear is happening with the Latin community. They're so afraid because, yeah, the majority, and I know if this may offend you, I really don't care. The majority are illegals, right? They're immigrants. And they're scared. They even though maybe they're third generation now of being totally Americans, they still carry this mentality of scarcity. Of I'm afraid of showing myself. I'm afraid of showing my opinions. I'm afraid of backing someone who is a little bit of you know, he or she ruffle feathers, or he shakes the cage, and they're afraid of that. So they want to be conventional. They want to be so accepted, the Latins, right? That's what I see. They want to be so accepted by the community that they lose themselves. That's why they don't stand with either this politician or that politician, and they'd rather be just like this. They get offended super easily because they're not either from here nor there. So they're kind of in a limbo. That's the first thing I see. They really are very easy to be manipulated, right? They're super easy to manipulate, which is why I think they are the ones that are suffering the most. Because in quotes, I mean, they have been here forever, right? But in quotes, it's like the new race that is getting the attention, the Latinos, right? They've been here in America for a long time now, for generations, but now it's the whole thing of, oh, the Latinos, oh, the Hispanics, blah, blah. So now they're getting all this attention, and they don't know, because the way that I see it, they are, like I said, they are scared. Now that the spotlight is under them, they don't know what to do with it, right? And then they follow every single trend that I see on the news and on the media, which I know because I've worked with them, right? Me and my woman, we've worked with them. I know how they manipulate us. Shit, working with politicians, I know that literally half of what they say is bullshit, all right? Just straight up. Half of what they say is not even they saying it. I mean, they don't write it. They hire people like me and a huge team behind them. They pick the exact words that they know they're going to be penetrating your subliminal and subconscious mind. So when I learned that, I was like, damn, they're playing us all the time. So again, every new information like Black Lives Matter, all that, I see the Latinos just buying it because they want to be accepted, right? They still feel like they don't belong here, so they want to be accepted. They don't want to speak the language because, oh, what are people going to think about me when I speak Spanish? Oh, but I'm here. Oh, they changed their name, which is why I also make fun of, if your name is Rodrigo, so what? Your name is Rodrigo. Your name is not Roy or something like that, right? That's why.
And the crazy thing is, I hate to interrupt you, dude, but they'll do, you said, and the reason I'm bringing this up is they want to blend in, so they'll jump with Black Lives Matter, anything the media presents. Yet at the same time, they'll go against themselves and say, my name is Roy instead of Rodrigo, or Roberto, or whatever it is. So when you look at it from that perspective, even what they do, es cuando le conviene. Like when it serves them, they'll do it. Yeah. Right? But then they'll literally be an enemy to themselves, which is saying, well, hey, I'm ashamed of my name. And we see this with other cultures too, but in particular with the Hispanic culture, like, like another name, right? En vez de decir, instead of saying Oscar, they'll say Oscar. Yeah. Because they want to make it sound more American. You know what I mean? So it's weird, dude. So even within that mechanism, they still have this contradictory type of, behavior. Yeah. And I just wanted to say that.
Just to wrap it up on this question, it's just I see a lot of confusion in them, Right. I feel like they're lost. That was the first impression that I got, and first impression, last impressions. And it's really sad because me being 100% Mexican, born and raised in Mexico City, when I came here to America, I was like, why are you so ashamed of your roots or being a Hispanic? What's wrong with that? Why are you so scared? And then on the other part, I don't see them begging or anything like that. I mean, they're working their asses off all the time. They're really hustling, but they have this, like this strong value of working hard physically, but not mentally, right? Because that's why they're very easy to manipulate. They are, very Christians, or they're very religious, and that's why I feel like they're easy to be manipulated by media, by politicians, by movements and all that. And I feel like they're just lost, and they're not from here, they're not from there, and unless they, I don't know. It's a long thing that we can talk about, but
of course. Yeah, and that kind of leads into the next question is like us, we can say there are more free thinkers and to say it correctly, maybe people who have established themselves and have a brand, and we kind of have a freedom to live the way other people wouldn't, yet we're not ashamed of where we come from, right? Like we just finished recording a podcast in Spanish, right? We push being, maybe not to the extreme, we can say, to where it's debilitating to other people, but, really embracing your ancestry, where you come from, if you have like a Hispanic name, wearing it proudly. What do you think some of the steps are that we or other people can take who are in positions of maybe influence to be able to penetrate past some of that psychological warfare to be able to get through, maybe not to everybody, to some people, to make them at least consider a different perspective and not fall into that narrative of being so confused and just compliant. Because I think that's the word. The Hispanic community is very compliant. Like we even say, like they say mande, like, you know, basically just saying order me, you know? So what do you think are some things we can do? You don't have to go too into detail, but what are some steps that we can take? Because I do have a big Hispanic audience, of course. Or minority audience. Even in my coaching, she has probably what, 80%, 90% minorities. Yeah. What are some steps they can do to maybe help rattle or pattern interrupt some of these things that are going on from your perspective, especially being, you know, outside of the United States?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you made this video with me, because I see it from the outside, right? I don't live here. I don't understand some of the things that you guys live. It's different, and it's really different. Something that you guys might not understand because you really live inside of a bubble. It's so fucking different once you're outside. So one of the first things that I see is, of course, like you said, that policing all the time. But one of the things that you can do to stop, from my perspective, coming from the outside, is silence. Being alone and being in silence. Because when you hear the news all the time, guess what? Repetition creates that state of mind, creates that mentality. When you do it again and again and again and again, and you see, coming from the advertising industry, we bombard you from all angles, radio, visually, sensory, I mean, all over the place, all over the place. We're trying to convey our message everywhere we can, because we know that there's a lot of people that are trying to do the same. So it's almost like a race to see who's louder. So ba 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 ba, and we're bombarded with that. So one of those messages are going to penetrate you. And that's what creates that mentality, right? Of being confused and trying to please everyone, and trying to be more American, less Mexican, more Mexican, less American, and oh, what the fuck am I doing? Or being a minority, whatever, right? So the first thing that I say is just stop watching that shit. Stop following what others are doing. Stop doing it. Now, you may fall into the category of being a weirdo, but I guarantee you, fuck, I was going to say 1 year, but less than that. 3 months, not listening to the media, just 3 months, not paying attention to newspaper, I'm old school, right? The news and on the radio and all that, and all of a sudden you'll start noticing that some of the things that they say are not true. Some of the things that they say, for example, I hear outside of Mexico that America is the worst racist country of them all. And when I come here, I really do not see that. You know, we have been out a long time. You know, we spend our time outside, and we're always talking to people, and I don't see it. I don't see it. So if I follow the narrative of the media, of course I'm going to believe it, and that affects my perception. So stop paying attention to that. Stop paying attention to that. And maybe you ask yourself, well, then where do I get my information from? God damn, follow Bryan. Follow other people like him, his friends. There's a number of other alternative media that are trying to bring you the good things, or not even the good things, but the real things, so that you can make up your own mind, right? Instead of, I don't know, NBC, BBC, all this bullshit. So that, I think, just to leave it short and sweet, that is the number one thing. Just stop paying attention to that. Stop paying attention to the media, to the mainstream, basically, the mainstream things. Even in social media, the mainstream. Oh, I have to be careful with the things that I say, because everyone else is doing it. Everyone else is saying this, that, hashtag, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do it, because then I'll please you, which is what I see with Latins and, you know, most minorities. I want to please you because I want you to be accepted. I want you to accept me. Please accept me. Please like me. Fuck, I hate that.
Yeah. Seriously, right? Seeking attention and outside validation. Right? It's crazy, man. Yeah. So thank you for that, man. And now, as we sidestep to another parallel, you recently are here in LA, which is more extreme. We just came back from being in Philadelphia and also Delaware. And I wanted to ask you, based on your experience so far in regards to coronavirus, mask wearing restrictions and all that, what's your perspective? How is it being treated in Mexico outside of the U.S. versus your experience here in the United States?
Yeah. Oh, man, that's a great question. And first of all, I'm against all that bullshit, all that pandemic, all that fear that they're trying to push onto
My
us.
bad, I gotta get 6 feet away from you.
Practice social distancing. Get the fuck out. What does that even mean? So in Mexico, there's, of course, it's a third world country, and that's something sometimes I forget. It's a third world country. There's people that have nothing to eat. So why would they be even caring about COVID-19 when they have nothing to eat, right? They really have nothing for themselves. Not because they don't want to do it, but because it's really bad. There are some places that are really bad over there. So they don't give a fuck about it, all right? And they're not getting sick. So I see a little bit of copying with Mexico, copying a little bit of what's happening here. But I thought it was not that crazy here. So when I came here, I said, well, you know, if in Mexico it's not that crazy, you know, because there's a lot of restrictions, but I thought, well, you know, maybe in America, you know, because I saw it on the media, like, oh yeah, they're opening again. So I said, well, you know what, it's not going to be that crazy. When I came here, I see a lot of craziness. I see a lot of people falling into that hysteria, falling into the narrative of being afraid and, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And people watching me with a bad fucking attitude, with an ugly bitch ass face. Sorry to cuss, man.
Oh, you're
it's
good.
because I'm not wearing a mask, right? And they're watching me like I'm some sort of an alien or something like that. I was like, dude, this is worse than Mexico. And I thought that Mexicans, shit, didn't give a fuck. But here, I think people are so afraid, are very, very afraid. And what I see is, I mean, I don't want to say that it doesn't exist because I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm not a fucking expert. But from my experience, shit, we have been this close to other people. We have, in Delaware, there was this drunk, smoking guy in the place that we were having dinner, the vegan place, and he was estornudando. How do you say that? He was sneezing. Yeah. He didn't have a mask. Even us, you know, I felt it like, oh shit, should I stay away from him? Is it Rona? Oh, damn. Rona? But I said, you know what? Fuck it.
He's even got the American slang.
Yeah. and nothing has happened. Nothing, absolutely nothing has happened. And because in America it is almost like a megaphone, right? What happens here shouts into the world, especially more in Mexico because we're just down from you and we're trying to copy everything or most of the things. That fear is sinking into Mexico. Not as bad as here, though. Not as bad as here, but it is coming, right? It is. I feel like if this thing keeps escalating like it is, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen in Mexico because I wasn't aware of how scared people was until I came here. I can't believe it, and they don't understand or they don't want to know the truth. It's almost like even if because I talk about it with my family back in Mexico. I talk about it with my woman, with her family, and with people around me. And I've seen some changes, right? I've seen people around me, my friends, they're like, oh, you know what? It makes a little bit of sense what you're saying. Yeah. But because I am a small person, right? In comparison to CB, that shit, right?
Not the authority.
Yeah, in quotes, not the authority. I'm not a doctor. Yeah. So they're like, well, it makes sense. But, and something that I noticed when we were at Sprouts, I don't remember, we were talking to a girl, the woman that was attending us, right? Yeah. And she said, well, you gotta wear it, right? I mean, it's for others, right? But she was confused. Yeah. Sometimes I see that also here. They're not even scared, but they're like, they don't know. Like, well, it's something that you have to do, right? And I'm what's the word? I'm asombrado by it.
Surprised, yeah.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah. There's another word for it, but I'm surprised by it because, again, because I don't follow the media. Yeah. All I see, all the information that I get is the alternative media, which is they are pushing a lot of the good things. They're, okay, get some vitamin D and you won't get it. Eat healthy, you won't get it. Eat probiotics, you won't get it. Or it's not even real. I think they haven't even been able to sintetizar, aislar.
Yeah, isolate.
Isolate the COVID-19. They haven't been able to isolate it. Yeah. So that's the information that I'm getting. And that's why I said, stop listening to these motherfuckers because there's an agenda behind it. Yep. So that's what I saw, man. Confusion and fear here. Yeah. Worse than Mexico.
It's crazy, bro. So recently, my mother went to visit because all my family's back in Argentina, and she almost couldn't leave the country. And it was to the point early on where And this is what people don't get about other countries compared to the freedoms that you have here in the States, and why some of us are pushing this information for at least for you to consider, because we have a reference, him more directly having lived, you know, his whole life in Mexico, but me having bounced back and forth between South America and here. There would literally be armed police officers on the street. And if you go out, you have no mask, you're getting a fine, and you're probably arrested. There's checkpoints where if you're driving in the car, they will stop you and take your fucking car and arrest you if you're out during the coronavirus lockdown. So for everybody watching, could you imagine that? And it could get to that point here in America where you can't even leave your goddamn house.
Toque de queda.
Yeah.
How do you say that? Because they did it in Mexico, they did it in Chile. And it's toque de queda, where you cannot go outside, like martial law.
Yeah, right.
They did that.
Yeah, or quarantine times 1,000, right? Yeah, it's crazy. So, and then my mom almost couldn't leave the country. They had one flight for all the people who were leaving Argentina from Buenos Aires, which is the capital. And she said she had to get a special taxi from a government person who was driving, right? It was a government representative. She got charged, I think, to go from my one aunt's house to the airport, which is a 20-minute drive, like $600.
Oh my God.
And in pesos, that's like 12,000 or 13,000 pesos in Argentina, which is insane. And she's like, yeah, the dude's like laughing while he's charging me. They got stopped 3 times and had to provide documentation of her passport, her flight, and a confirmation that that flight was actually leaving that day. So 3 things, they got stopped 3 times. That's fucking insane, bro.
It is.
Like, that's crazy.
Something that I can add, I'm sorry to interrupt you real quickly, is yes, I see more craziness here, more fear and all that, but definitely more freedom.
Of course.
Of course, you guys have way, check your privilege. I mean, you have a lot of freedom right here, because we can go out and this and that, and nobody, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, if I see the police, are they going to say something? Because in Mexico, at least in my city, they give you a ticket if you're not wearing your fucking mask. This was up to 2 months ago. I hope they change it, because shit, I don't wear a mask, but definitely. I mean, I see the fear here, but you have way more freedom than in Mexico or Latin America, you know, because that is the martial law and all that. That is crazy, man.
Right. So you heard it from him, right? You guys emulate a lot what's going on here, except these countries don't have the freedoms that we have.
They enforce it on you.
Here,
you're more free.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So is there anything else you want to add, bro? And I'll add one more question, actually. I'm sure you see from your perspective, because I know you follow like a lot of people here who push the opposite agenda, which would be considered anti-government, right? How much of that is actually happening within Mexico from Mexicans? And if they were to do that, what would be some of the ramifications or things they would be liable for? Could they be arrested, probably assassinated? How is that compared to here? Because here, even though they censor, you know, and some people might be targeted, you can still do it and walk outside. Versus over there, how would that be for that person who becomes popular, in quotes, that does that?
Fuck, you have to be so careful over there, man. They just killed a person that was pushing something about nature, not even political views. He was trying to save the butterflies, the monarca butterflies. That basically they traveled from Canada all the way down to I don't even know where, man. But it's a huge thing, and they killed him. They just killed him. They killed another doctor that she was pushing a lot of the probiotics thing, like against the mainstream. Like, hey, okay, guys, if the coronavirus exists, if fucking take probiotics, you won't get sick ever again, because basically your gut, that's the way to health, right? And she was found dead. So that's fucking crazy. So yeah, I mean, I talk about it. I'm very, you know, for example, I'm pro-Trump, which is something that people back in Mexico, they look at me like, what? Even the people with privilege, like the fresas and the bougie or whatever you can pronounce it now, they look at me like, dude, there's something wrong with you. It's because, again, they follow the media. And the media back in Mexico, oh my God, it's pure bullshit. They get all the bad shit that is happening here, or manipulated, in quotes, bad shit. We get that. So they're pushing, if you can say the democratic point of view, they're pushing it very, 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 very strong in Mexico. And I don't see anyone, I don't know anyone that is going the opposite way. And yeah, if they were like pretty fucking big, like super famous and with a lot of attention, I don't know what would happen, man.
Would handle them quickly.
Yeah, probably, because it's really, really bad. So now I know, even from the narcos, they don't want Trump because it's not good for their business. It's not good. It's not good for business. I know that from inside, you know, someone that I know. So it is really, really bad when it comes to that over there, man. And me personally, I always talk about that. The moment I talk about, hey, have you seen this, and that from Trump? I mean, you don't get this type of news. For example, you told me about the unemployment rate and all that. Yeah. I talk about it, and I don't know if it's worse here. I mean, I don't think so, because there's a lot of pro-Trumps here. Yeah. But over there, man, oh shit, they immediately put you like you are anti-Mexican, like you're a traitor of your own country. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to give you another perspective. Yeah. So don't follow this, don't follow that. Just get all the facts and then make up your own mind. And then I start talking about it. Some people get it. Some people are like, makes sense, right? Yeah. And some people are just like, no, Pablito, estás loco, eres un pendejo, eres un racista. No. Why do you want to go to America? They hate you. They don't hate me, man. We don't see that. And I have to say this: the only time, and I told you this, the only time I got, in quotes, hate, which was this time when I came this time to America, it was from another Latin person. Yeah. I got a little bit of like, who are you? Why? But I've never gotten that before, man. And from my own, in quotes, my own people, I get the hate. I'm like, come on, man.
And I've said that from the beginning. Our own people hate us the most, but I think that applies to every race pretty much. Well, so they push and tell you, oh, the other person that's not your race hates you the most, but in reality, it's our own community that gives us the most shit. And, you know, if we're going to talk about that for a second, you've been to Utah. We just came from fucking Newcastle, Delaware, which was, if we're going to talk color, is white as shit. Right? And everybody was cool, right? Literally 99% of the people we came across were white. Did we have any issues? No. Especially you? No.
I have to say, I was a little bit like, not scared, but I was a little bit like down, like, oh, because we went to this super tiny bar that, you know, it's like only the locals go. And I was like, damn, am I allowed to enter this place? Because, you know, I look obviously Latino, so what the fuck? But it was cool. Yeah. There's not such thing. I mean, of course there is, but that's everywhere. But at least in my experience, I don't see it.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. So thanks for doing this, dude. It was cool to get this perspective because, you know, you're not here all the time. And when you were here, I wanted to get you on my channel because this is something that isn't discussed enough from an outside perspective. True. You know, I have quotes an outside perspective, but it's limited because I don't go to Argentina every fucking, you know, year anymore. I haven't gone in years. Yeah. So thanks for doing this, dude. If you want to shout out like your Instagram or anything, go ahead. I'll also link it in the description, and then we'll end the video.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me here. So yeah, if you guys want to follow me, you just go at Pablo Mentor or pablomentor.com. I was gonna say .com.
Check your privilege.
And check your bilingual privilege. And also a new program that I have, which is access to my vault, to all of my private lectures, all of my books, all of my products. It's $20 a month. Pretty accessible, pretty affordable. Just go to pablomentor.com and you'll see everything, all right? My podcast and all these things. Thank you, man.
Cool. And Pablo's going to be here for another 2 weeks, roughly. So if you guys have any additional questions for him or any topics you want me to bring up and discuss with him, leave a comment below. That way we know, and we'll be able to elaborate on some of the things that you want to find out. All right?
If you want to learn Spanish, I'll teach you.
Te vamos a enseñar español, carajo. See you guys.